Good morning. It's Monday, June 27th. Thanks for joining us on Up to the Minute. I'm today's guest host, Dr. Lana Pigou, Communications Director, HCC Northwest, and Humanities Professor. Joining me is Stacy Hawkins, HCCTV producer of The Topic and other programs, as well as an HCC Communications Professor. Good morning, Stacy. How can everyone find us?
Well, we're live on Houston Community College District's Facebook page and YouTube. Now, when you're looking for us and you've got that little search bar, put in Houston Community College District rather than HCC, because there's a number of HCCs out there. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and if you want to go old school and go cable TV, HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10, Monday through Friday.
Great. Today, we're happy to have another international success story, Ruth Ukwenya. She's founder of Echoes of Life, HCC International Real Journey Campaign Ambassador. Welcome, Ruth. Stacy will be with you in about 10 minutes. But first, it's Mental Health Monday, and we welcome back a guest to talk about the myths of mental health. Renae Tomczak, President, CEO of Mental Health America of Greater Houston, and our Mental Health Monday guest. Welcome to the show, Renae.
Thank you, Alana. I'm happy to be here.
Great. We're looking forward to exploring mental health myths, and I'll say the myth and you give the truth. So let's get started. Myth number 1. Children are resilient and rarely experience mental health concerns.
Well, Alana, I'm sure you and all the people joining us today would agree that the pandemic has certainly made everyone aware that children can be as vulnerable in terms of their mental health as adults. What we know, and this was true before the pandemic, is that half of all mental health disorders show signs before the age of 14, and 3/4 of mental health disorders begin by the age of 24. So it's true, children are more resilient and often can rebound and return to wellness, but the key here is early intervention. So it's important when signs appear in your child that you seek professional help, because letting them go and thinking they will resolve themselves could lead to other development challenges.
Right. So myth number 2, people with mental health problems are violent and unpredictable.
So this is a very important myth that we bust today. The vast majority of people with mental health issues are no more likely to be violent than anyone else. Most people with mental illnesses are not violent, and only 3 to 5% of violent acts that can be attributed to somebody living with a serious mental illness. The truth is, the greatest predictor of violence is a history of violence, youth justice involvement, physical interpersonal abuse. Those are all key predictors of future violence. So expressions of hate or rage or threatening behavior are not mental illnesses, but are predictors of violence.
Okay. So myth number 3, asking a person about suicide will only increase their risk.
This is one that we come up with quite a bit when we host suicide prevention training. So it is absolutely false. Showing someone concern does not increase risk. But what it does do, in fact, is it lowers the anxiety that that person may be feeling. It opens up communication and it lowers the risk of an impulsive act. You may be giving someone a lifeline that they need to get help. And remember this number, 988. On July 16th, this will be the new number to access the suicide prevention hotline, joining 911, which we call when there is, when we need police. So 988. But until then, if you or somebody you know may need suicide intervention, call 1-800-273-8255.
Okay. Myth number 4, my mental illness is my fault.
Very important myth to bust for those who are feeling that they may have a mental health concern and need help. Personality weaknesses, character flaws, they do not cause mental illness. There are a number of factors that contribute to mental health problems, and those include biological factors such as genes or physical illness, injury, brain chemistry, also life experiences. If you've experienced trauma or a history of abuse. And then there is a connection if there is a family history of mental health problems. But what's important to remember is that people with mental health problems can get better, and many people recover completely.
Right. And so myth number 5, people with mental health problems, even those who are managing their illness, cannot tolerate the stress of holding down a job.
People with mental health concerns are just as productive as any other employees. So when employees with mental health problems receive effective treatment, it can result in lower total medical costs, increased productivity, lower absenteeism, and decreased disability costs. So it's important that people who have a mental health concern, or if you recognize in somebody that there may be a mental health issue at stake, encourage them to get help. And they can, like everyone else, be productive members in society and in the job.
Great. And finally, myth number 6, I can't do anything for a person with a behavioral concern or mental health problem.
You can be their biggest advocate. So you may not know what to do. So here's a few things that for you to think about. So the idea is to help somebody get the treatment and services they need. So how do we do that? We let them know that you are available to help, whatever that help may need. It could be sitting with somebody while they make a call. It could just be to listen. Again, to help access services, do some research for them. You can help by refusing to label or calling someone crazy. We hear that word all the time, and we generalize it all the time. Take that word out of your vocabulary and educate yourself. Learn the facts and share the information when you hear something that is not true. And if you or someone you care about is maybe experience a mental health concern, please visit our website at mhahouston.org. You can take a free anonymous online mental health screening and also access resources for help.
Right. Renae, we'll have your info on a post after our show, but when should someone reach out to MHA Houston?
You can reach out to us at any time if you are feeling that you may be experiencing a mental health issue. So several ways to do that. You can call us at 713-523-8963. You can email us at info@mhahouston.org or visit our website and you'll find additional contact information for us there.
Great. Well, thank you, Renae Tomczak, President and CEO of Mental Health America of Greater Houston, and our Mental Health Monday guest. We'll have your info in our post after the show.
Thank you, Lana.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Our next guest is Ruth Ukwenya. She is the founder of Echoes of Life nonprofit and one of our HCC International Real Journey campaign ambassadors. Thanks for joining us, Ruth.
Thank you.
Now, tell us a little bit about your background before you came to HCC. Where are you from originally?
Oh, I'm originally from Nigeria. And before I joined HCC, I was in Nigeria. I had a degree in accounting, a master's in occupational health and safety management. And I also have honorary degree and doctorate degree in divinity and humanities. And prior to getting to HCC, I have worked in so many organizations. I worked in the banking sectors, I worked in the real estate, and I really, since I was 19, I have been working in the nonprofit sector. And I worked as the community director, community service center in Nigeria at Special Initiative for Children Empowerment Spice. And when I joined HCC, I studied. Right now, I'm studying. I'm studying computer programming, cloud computing, and app development. And right now, I'm also an international ambassador at HCC.
Well, thank you so much for bringing that incredible background and all that experience here to HCC. We really appreciate you as a student. So tell me a little bit about that international ambassador position. What is that? And tell me about some of the things you do as part of that.
Yes, as an international ambassador here at HCC, we are responsible for talking to students, international students, and integrating them into the society here and helping them fit in properly. As an international ambassador, which I've been since August 2020, I've been able to serve in so many capacities, like working as a panelist in open houses, enrollments, and helping people, talk to people in orientations, and talking to families and encouraging them, letting them know how beautiful HCC is, and helping them integrate in their communities, and also helping them to settle down most times, because most times some people are on transfer and they don't really know what it takes to be here. And when they come in, we help them to integrate into the society, get back, get settled, get accommodation, and register their courses properly, and be able to interact with other students and get involved in the community.
Now, your giving back doesn't just stop with that. You have founded a nonprofit organization, haven't you?
Yes, I am.
Now, tell me a little bit about Echoes of Life.
Okay, Echoes of Life actually started when my husband passed. You know, the last time I came to this show, I talked about my husband who had cancer. And last year, my husband passed. And he died of cancer, kidney cancer. And through the period when he was sick and when he passed, I was grieving. I really didn't know I was grieving, especially when he was sick. I thought everything was just normal. And when he passed, I realized that things were not really going well the way I could. I had to stop school at a point for one semester, and a lot of things were not working out for me. And when I go out, I meet and interact with people, I realize that a lot of people are also passing through grief in different forms, from divorce, from separations, from poverty, you know, and divorce of it from death of their loved ones. And some of them are grieving for like 20 years and they've not been able to get out of grief. And one day I told myself, I need to jump out of this grief and start helping people get out of grief. And so we founded Echoes of Life. And Echoes of Life is a platform where we help people who are grieving and those who have terminal diseases, because when you have terminal disease, you'll be grieving without knowing. Like I told yesterday, I told you I was like, I went for a funeral for a friend of mine who is more like a father, who also passed from a kidney disease, and he was grieving. And when you are grieving, you die slowly. And when you have complicated grief, it kills you faster. So for you to be able to avoid that, you need to be in a community, you need to have people, you need to have support. And that is what we at Echoes of Life, we are rendering. We are rendering support to people who are grieving. And this support is actually free. We are not charging anybody for it. We just want to give back to the society so that the world can be a better place. And we are doing it for both adults and children. Because I have 4 boys, and I realized that children grieve, which is contrary to the belief that people have that children don't grieve, just leave them alone. Because talking to my kids, I realized that they are grieving even worse than me. And if it is not managed, what happens? they will not be able to give back to the society. They will not be able to fit into the society. They will not be able to have full potentials. At the end of the day, the world will not really be a better place. And one thing I know is I always have a slogan for myself that one day I should be able to change the world and make this world a better place. And I think that Echoes of Life is one platform God has given to me to be able to make this world a better place and change lives and make this world beautiful once again.
That is an incredible goal, and to have that grow out of your own grief, thank you for that. Now, do you have any events coming up where people can kind of get involved?
Yes, we have an event coming up on August 30, which is the World Grief Awareness Day. And on that day, we'll be talking to people about grief and why they must stop grieving. And the slogan for that, we have a hashtag, which is "That One Killer Grief." And we believe that people should stop grieving. Take grief, because we cannot really say you're not going to grieve, but we have what is called healthy grieving, which means that you grieve healthily. You can remember your loved ones, you can remember the situation, but it will make you smile. And when you look back at the things you have done before together, and you look at pictures and you look at memories you've shared together, it should make you smile and be grateful to God that you met somebody like that. But when you keep grieving, why did I have to lose this? Everyone loses people, everyone loses things. But you should be able to see the good part of that relationship, in that particular relationship while it lasted. So we have that program coming up, which is the World Grief Awareness Day, which is happening on August 30, 2022. And we hope that everyone should be able to put it on their as a hashtag on their social media and just create awareness and let people know that there's a killer, and that killer is called grief.
Ruth, this is Lana. I have a question about children who are grieving. What are some of the signs that children show when they are grieving?
Yeah, some of the signs children show when they are grieving is one. The most common one is that children who do not bedwet before, they start bedwetting. So when you notice that your child is bedwetting after a particular grief or an incident, then you know that that child is grieving. So you don't need to scold that child, you need to talk to that child or seek help. Then secondly, they start having suicidal thoughts. They start talking as if the whole world has ended and crashed on them. They start withdrawing, they have withdrawal syndrome. They don't want to interact with the society, they just want to be alone. They want to do things alone, be in their rooms, play with a particular game, and they have a special interest and nothing else matters to them. That child is grieving. And they don't want to have friends, they don't want to mix up. And they most times it affects their education because they start going down educationally and socially. Then you know that these children are grieving. And the first thing you need to do is to seek help. That you call 911 or you call us and let us know that your child is grieving. You can call us on 1-800-818-5591. That way we'll be able to talk to you, or you reach out to us on echoesoflife.org. Drop a note, or you reach out to us through their email, admin@echoesoflife.org. We'll be able to reach out and help that child because we have models. We have 3 models which we work with. And that model, the first one is what we call forgiveness. It helps you to withdraw and forget everything that has happened and you forgive whatever situation. Then the next one is that you need to be you, which means you need to now embrace the new you and become productive in life. We have that model. And the other one is that you should be able to now go back and give back to the society and be an idol now, a great idol to every other person who is grieving. Because we believe that through sharing and sharing your situations, sharing your experiences with people, you feel better. So when you are able to go through these processes, then I assure you, before you finish with the forgiveness process, you've already accepted the situation and you are ready to move on. So that is what we do. And we have a platform which we call Grief Buddies. So in Grief Buddies, we meet every 2 weeks and we share experiences, we teach ourselves, we embrace ourselves, we tell ourselves the truth that you cannot continue grieving forever because these things happen. But what is necessary at this time is to be a better you. You need to know that this you that was before needs to change, and you need to embrace the new you and become a change agent. When people see you the next time, they should know that you are better. They shouldn't see you down, because we realize that people withdraw and they degrade in their health, in their social life, in everything. And before you know it, they are gone or they are bankrupt and all that. No, you don't need that for yourself. When you are grieving, it means that you need to learn from what happened, and you need to take charge of your situation at that particular time and move on. So that is what Echoes of Life is all about. We are all about moving on, helping people to get started again and moving on. You know, like Niti, he knows when I was in this situation, I had to call for help, and he helped me with a lot of resources from HCC, and I was able to access those resources, which helped me. And some of those resources I'm also trying to put up now, because I realized that the first thing you need to do is just accept the situation. So when you accept the situation, then every other stage, the denial and every other will be easy for you to just get through it.
That is such a wonderful message of turning a challenge in your life to something positive. Thank you so much for joining us, Ruth. We'll make sure that we've got all the information about your organization in our social media post after the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
So now we're going to move on to a few events and announcements. If you're getting ready for vacation and you want a nice fresh haircut, HCC is again offering haircuts to students for one more Wednesday at HCC Central. Walk-ins are welcome. Just show up with your ID card. That's Wednesday from 10 to 11:30 a.m. and then from noon to 1:30. And we'll have all the details in the email in our post after the show.
Right. And HCC's David Sharma will be hosting summer audio workshops. These 4-week recording courses, they're coming up soon. And they include music theory, creating beats, sampling, remixing, and using the Ableton Live system. And those courses are Saturdays, July 9th, 16th, 23rd, and the 30th from noon to 4 p.m. And they'll be at our new audio recording studio at our North Forest campus. And we'll have that information and the link to register after the show.
You know, when I was a kid, summer camps only meant one thing, and that was being out with mosquitoes. So I didn't like that too much. HCC's got an interesting option for you. HCC's Community Learning Program and Texas A&M AgriLife has 2 more STEM summer VR and SWIFT camps coming up in July. The first is July 18th through 22nd at HCC's North Forest campus, Northwest College. And then July 25th through the 29th at HCC Southwest College at the West Loop campus. We'll have all the details in the post after the show.
Yeah, and those camps are really great. They fill up very quickly, folks. And it's never too soon to start thinking about our fall semester. So we'll be having some work-study job fairs. Our financial aid office will be hosting some on-campus work-study job fairs July 18th through the 21st at our Central campus, our West Loop campus, and our A-Leaf campus at the West Houston Institute. So students who are eligible are encouraged, so keep an eye out for your HCC email for those dates and more information. And we'll have a link to our post after the show as well.
Path to Profession. This is a program that provides students with employment opportunities in your field of study, or you can get a position with a community business partner to earn money and gather some real world experience. We'll also have that link in our post after the show.
And here at HCC, we value everyone. So if you feel discriminated because of your gender and sexual identity, you have the right to bring your concern to the Office of Institutional Equity at HCC. The same is true if you witness such discrimination of others. They take all concerns seriously, and we'll have the number to call as well as the email and the website to make a report or for more information.
Now you can still register for our smaller summer semesters, and fall 2022 registration is going on. I'm teaching 2 courses in summer too, so look for me under the communications department. So we have a number of different options. You can go online anytime, which is where you just go on whenever you want to, no established class meeting times. Online on a schedule, which is where you have a set meeting time, but the course meets online. You can do it from anywhere. Hybrid, where you meet partially face-to-face and partially virtually. And then we have in-person, face-to-face traditional classes, and then a few hybrid lab courses. That's kind of like your sciences, where you have a part of a lecture and part of a laboratory. So for all HCC programs, you can go to hccs.edu/apply.
Great. Stacy, what are you teaching this summer?
I am teaching 2 courses in communications. One is Introduction to Electronic Media, and the other is Media Writing.
Great. Those are great courses. Okay. Well, up next for Tasty Tuesday, HCC's Chef Katie Rangel will tell us about HCC's involvement in the Houston kickoff of the James Beard Foundation's Taste America. Those are the Oscars of the foodie world, where up to 400 guests will enjoy delicious bites from notable local chefs. And HCC history instructor Christopher Haight will join us to discuss Pride Month and some unfortunate moments in HCC's LGBTQ history. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Renae.